All right. I'm so excited for
I
y'all to meet
too.
Grayson. Grayson is
Hey,
the coolest, okay? Grayson is a genius. I ask him all kinds of random questions.
thank you.
We send a lot of long voice messages, and this
Wait.
video is going to be just an extension of that, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we pretty much were like, I think we should just we should record this and put this out into the world somehow. I think
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact conversation, but I think it was something along those lines, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's very organic. Just like, hey, this would be a really good thing. Which today we're going to talk about Google Ads.
Hmm.
Obviously, we posted that in the group. I've got a bunch of frequently asked questions, and I'm going to go through these questions, just kind of set you up so you can
Oh,
answer them. And then if we have extra time, there might be some bonus questions too.
ooh,
So
ooh, for bonus questions.
yeah. So okay. So the first one, which I love this because I've always kind of wondered about this doing SEO.
Yeah.
The question is, why don't you use near me keywords when running Google Ads?
Yeah, that is a great question. And I get asked this question almost every week. Just, clients want to make sure that they're bidding on the right keywords and that we're being good stewards of their money and their financials through Google Ads. And I think it's a great question to ask because you should always be conscious of where your money is going.
Yeah.
But the answer is Google is actually, and it didn't used to be this way, but Google has gotten smart enough to automatically connect the keywords that you're using. We would call them like your broader keywords or your higher level keywords, to users who could be searching it in their targeted area. So if they're searching in that area, the geo-targeting settings are an independent enough system that it automatically runs on the campaign level. Now, there was a lot of technical terms I said in there. So if throughout the video, if I say anything technical and you're watching this video and like, whoa, he way too high level, Grayson, just drop a question, or way too technical, drop a question below and I'll be happy to answer any weird technical term that I end up throwing out there. But basically what that previous statement means is that you just adjust your geo-targeting settings within Google Ads for each campaign, to target that specific geographic area that you would be looking to target. And then once you input all your location settings correctly, Google Ads automatically will connect that near me keyword directly to the location that you've set up in your targeting settings. So no need to bid on that keyword and kind of put extra dollars towards it because Google will automatically kind of do that for you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it kind of really already knows where they're at. Like,
Right.
so why
Right.
waste a keyword kind of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. When you set up an ad, Google is very, very in depth with a lot of the questions that it asks via, bid strategies or keywords or assets, and especially with location. And so Google does automatically kind of connect those dots for you just based on the questions you set up. It's kind of like whenever you set up a new social media profile, and they ask you a bunch of these weird probing questions, and you're like, that doesn't seem relevant. And then it comes onto your profile later. It's like, this is, their interests and hobbies. And you're like, oh, that's where they were asking that question from. So that would be like kind of a social media example, I guess, to put it
Yeah.
in a simpler term.
No, that makes total sense. I love that we can just like save that and use better keywords instead of wasting a keyword for something
Abs
that's not really needed. Um,
Absolutely. Always good to be a good steward.
the other question is, and I love this one too, like why can't you set a maximum ad spend? Like what's the point of like monitoring the budget
Yeah.
daily?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I gotta ask that question. If Google, if you're listening, why can't we set a maximum ad spend, please? Like seriously. No,
I
but
love
like
that.
in all seriousness, I wish we could set a maximum spending limit, but it would make things much easier for us. It would make things much easier for the client. The client just goes, "Hey, this is the max spend. Go ahead and punch that into your system," and I go, "Great." It's punched in. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Google Ads uses a daily budget system, meaning you select your budget on a daily schedule, and you set that daily budget. But Google, here's the confusing part. And, if it's all right with you, I'd love to link a resource to this article down below because I think this is so, so important for anyone considering Google Ads. But Google can spend up to twice your daily budget, or in monthly terms, that's 34 point times your daily budget in a month. And so it's so, so crucial. I don't want to get in the weeds here, but I will explain this a little bit better. That means that, in one day, maybe Google spends a third of your budget. And then it goes, oh, but since we only spent a third of the budget in a monthly sense, we have X amount of dollars to spend. So I'm going to spend 2 times the daily budget because I only spent a third of it yesterday. And so
Mm,
that's kind of the capacity that Google operates in. The article will definitely get a little bit more in depth on that if you want to go ahead and hear Google's perspective on that.
mm,
But it is so crucial that you have someone in your ads account monitoring that daily budget every single day, just to make sure that Google aims to maximize your spending for your keywords and for your ad campaigns. So
right. So you
hopefully I
can,
didn't say too many technical things though.
yeah, so you can, and I guess sometimes I get this confused with like you can put
Mhm.
a max, like I don't want it to spend more than this amount of money.
Right.
Right? But then like for
Yep.
your daily budget, if the daily budget, if it can spend more, I guess you're doing a lot of math to figure out what the daily
Yes.
budget should be. And also so that it does, what the,
Exactly.
if I don't
Yeah.
want to spend more than $1,000 a month, then figuring out the daily budget. It kind of makes sense why you want to have someone monitoring it.
Right. And definitely crunching those numbers for you before you set that daily budget on the ad campaign. And it's good to just be aware of what that daily budget is and then what the equation is that it's going to spend, what it's potentially going to spend. And, Google gives that as like a high level estimate. So it's not saying it's going to spend that every month, but that is the maximum amount that you have allowed Google to spend on your ad campaign in a daily or monthly term. 2 times that daily amount, or in monthly terms, that'll be 30.4 times your monthly budget. So just be aware of that as you're setting your spending levels, because it's good to keep an eye on that and monitor that.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's see. Oh, like advertising like specific things.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. So like I think I
Ooh,
know what you're saying here. Like if you were to go and advertise, like let's say a specific product or a specific service that could be in like a gray area, or maybe you're not 100% sure if it's within Google's policies. Yeah, that's we get that a lot actually. Like it's really important. And I think this is good to just talk about in general, but it's always good to research whether Google allows your service or product or whatever, even just your business, to advertise on their platform. And even if they do allow it, making sure that you advertise within their policies is a big deal.
yes. Yeah,
I
the first time I ever tried to do Google Ads for a
yeah.
client, because I was
Mhm.
like, maybe I can try and figure this out. Well, we set it up and it was rolling, it was doing good. And then 2 days later, we got completely like removed from Google Ads. Like literally her whole email is banned from Google Ads now. And I was like, I am never trying that again.
Oh, and that is like for me, that's like my worst nightmare coming true. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I toss and turn about at sleep, when I
Yeah,
sleep, it's
yeah.
like, oh, I can never have that happen to my clients or me or any.
Right.
I
Well,
hate
but
that.
that's one of the clients that you're working with, and you
Yeah.
haven't gotten banned, and we've been having great ads for the last almost 3 months now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
just
and
being like, you know what, Grayson, I'm not gonna DIY this. I'm just gonna recommend that they hire you, and they did, and it's going really good. And that's like, thank you.
yeah, and absolutely. And if you do ever, if anyone, if you ever want to DIY it, or if anyone else ever wants to DIY it, that's why I set up, my consulting services, is so that we can actually kind of walk you through step by step what that process looks like, and
Yeah.
making sure that as you go through it step by step, you're complying with Google's policies, whether it be, this is major for actually, and I want to make this known for any health companies out there, any, therapy or medicines or services that could be related to health. Google is very, um, tricky about the way that happens. And just a fun little fact, in America, we're one of only 2 countries that allows advertisement for medicines and pharmaceutical products. And so
Oh,
that's even more reason, if you are one of those people, to please make sure that you're complying with the policies. Otherwise, Google will give you a slap on the wrist for it. So just
yeah.
something to be aware of. Make sure you read the policies. And if you are, you absolutely can DIY it, but I definitely recommend, kind of getting someone's opinion on it, someone who is experienced in the systems. It doesn't even have to be me. I recommend it be me because, you know, of course I
And
would,
why not, right? Right.
uh, but I
Shameless plug.
yeah, right. Shameless plug. Hey, but yeah, I definitely, you know, before you get into it, make sure that you check Google's policies and make sure that your ads or your services are complying with those policies before you launch it. Otherwise, you'll probably spend more time and money trying to get them back online than you will, you know, making money from them type of situation.
Right, right. Yeah. And I mean, if you're doing Google Ads, the whole point is like to get a good return on your investment. So I think I love that you even offer consulting because I don't see that a lot on a lot of like marketing, especially people who have teams and agencies like you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of time in the day. So the fact that you offer that, I think, is a huge blessing. Um,
Absolutely. In all areas of Google Ads, you know, whether you have a keyword question or a, you know, tracking question, we do the whole nine yards. So it doesn't even just have to be about the ad itself. It could be about setting up the ad or the creative behind it or the tracking that after it's been set up, whatever stage of your ad process that you're in, or even if it's just like, how can I make, you know, how can I make more money from my ads at the end of the month? Feel free to reach out. We help in any stage of the process.
so you would even like if someone already has their ad set up and they were like, "Hey, can you look at this and make sure it actually looks good?" Like,
Absolutely. Actually, those are my favorite because then people are like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know about this whole section of Google Ads that you've like totally opened my world to." And I don't even want you to say anything more about it. I just want to click around in it while I go figure it out, and then
oh,
I'll come
that's
back to you and
cool.
ask questions. And so, like,
Yeah.
if you're in the process, yeah, we would love to, you know, reach out. Please reach out. Let us help you in any way we can. Any questions you have about the systems, like, or if you're stumped on something like I was, like, why do my ads keep flagging for this? Or why does this keep happening to my ads when I run them and they've been online for months? You know, let us in on that conversation in any way we could help. We would be happy to.
Heck yeah. That's why you're the best.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
So
No,
next
you.
question. Next question, which I find like to me, this is my favorite thing because I'm very big on sales, right? Like I want every single thing I do for a business owner, I want to make sure that it's making them more money. And so that is conversions. Tell us about what a conversion is, how you track them, how you
Yeah.
send clean data to Google Ads and analytics. I know it's kind of a loaded question, but
No, no, you're fine. I mean, man, this is the question we get asked all the time. People. So yeah, let me start with the conversion because I mentioned that in my last question, but I don't think I explained it very well. Conversions, or you know, we call them key events, is another way to put that. And key events are also what Google Analytics renamed them to. They were conversions in Google Analytics. Now Google Analytics calls them key events.
I need to
I don't know
actually
why.
write that down. I didn't even know that. Key event.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally confusing, and it confuses all of our consulting clients that we help with Google Analytics because they're like, I'm trying to track my conversions, but I don't know where to find them because they're none of this stuff is named conversions, and I keep typing in conversions, but I can't find anything, and it's like, so Google renamed them to key events, so you'll have to go refine them. But yeah, no, conversions are key events, are actions you want users to take after clicking your ad. You know, like making a purchase if you're an e-commerce website, or if you're lead generation, going ahead and submitting a lead form, or you know, hypothetically, I'm trying to think of another really good example of
Like
a
maybe subscribing to an email list. Could that count as one?
Exactly. Yes, 100% that can count. And that would be something that you can tell your ads, hey, I want you to start trying to drive users to these actions. And if you're able to do that, then it opens up it opens up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunity in that realm for further success from your ads. Because once the ads understand what your marketing objectives and your marketing goals are, they will be able to better effectively find the traffic that will complete those goals for you.
Hmm.
So those are what conversions are on a pretty high level. I could talk about conversions all day, but
Yeah.
yeah, what I
Think-
want to talk about is actually how to track conversions properly, because this is something that many agencies, just like marketing agencies that are spending, you know, I don't want to give exact numbers, but like 40 to $50,000 a month on ads for clients. Yeah, like big agencies come to us and they go, "Hey, we don't know what's going on with our conversions. We haven't set them up right. We're having issues with them. They're not tracking properly, and they're still spending all of this money. And so make sure that, as you're doing this, you have an expert who is, that's properly set up your conversions and they're properly tracking those to report to you every month. But to properly track conversions, we have found that the best way to do it is through the Google Tag Manager. And then you connect the Google Tag Manager to your Google Ads account and then to your analytics. And then you build the conversions in Google Tag Manager and then send them to each platform respectively. It's been the best way that we've been able to track conversions. It's seen the
Yeah.
most success. It's the most accurate. And it actually, we've noticed, increases the amount of conversions you get as well.
Wow. Heck yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
It can, so if you set up Google Ads, it will allow you to set them up without even doing conversions then?
So that's the thing, is you always have to have some kind of conversion action. It doesn't have to be in depth, right? So a conversion action could be anything. So for example, if you want your conversion action to be just go to this website, that can be a conversion action. Then
Like a
that's how we,
website click would be a
oh, a conversion,
It does
exactly.
make sense to make it a little bit further, right? Like we don't just want them on the website. We want them to click into a page or subscribe to
Personalized.
an email list or purchase a product or,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Move it, as we would say, move them down the lead funnel, right? So like
Yeah.
if
For
they're at the top here, just starting at your ad, you want them to get all the way from your ad to using your service or buying your product regularly. And not just, that's an important word there, is regularly. You don't want them to just do it one time or buy your product one time or use your service one time. You want them to keep coming back and doing that. And so it's very, very important you get them down the lead funnel in a proper way that's being tracked too. Because if you don't know what stage they fell off of the lead funnel, you don't know where you're losing those customers. For example, if you have like a faulty lead form and you see a lot of people are getting to the lead form and they're filling it out, but you don't see a lot of thank you pages, well, that's strange. I wonder why my ads are not sending people all the way to the thank you page. And that's a
maybe
good example.
establishing, actually, ooh, this segues
Mhm.
us to the next question
Oh yeah.
perfectly. So I was going to say, obviously, the website needs to function properly before Google Ads is set up, right? Because there's nowhere to funnel them. If the
Mhm.
forms don't work, we're
Right.
losing money, right? So like
Right.
next question would be like what content, visuals, resources do you
Mhm.
even need before you get a campaign started? Because I know there's spots to put in pictures,
There are.
there's titles, and yeah, tell me more about that.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll need I would say the most crucial item for your Google ads is 100% going to be your headlines and your descriptions. I mean, what you say in your ad is going to be the most critical part. And sorry, one moment. Excuse me.
Okay, I was like feeling a yawn, and I'm like, oh no, I can't yawn on the video. Like we're human.
Right.
Like
I was thinking about that.
we're
Yeah, like
human beings.
I mean, we're human, right? Then that shows, hey, I'm not a robot. So
Right,
that's
right.
what I
This
would
is
put it.
not
My
AI.
recaptcha. I checked my checkbox, so I'm good. I found
Yeah.
all the fire hydrants. Um, but yeah, I would say headlines and descriptions are going to be the most crucial part of your ads because it's what everyone is going to see first. It's what people are going to read. What you say is going to attract people, and so your headlines and your descriptions are going to be for every campaign you ever run, no matter a search campaign or a performance max campaign, or even
Yeah.
the most new popular one, the demand generation campaign, which, another topic for another day. But the quantity and variety are key when it comes to these headlines and descriptions. The more data you provide, the more it helps Google optimize your ads. So when
And
you
when you
craft these headlines and descriptions, you want to say different things and give them in different ways. Like, you don't want to say, um, for example, I have, oh, here we go, almonds for sale.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to, what you wouldn't want to do is you wouldn't want to say almonds for sale and then I have almonds for sale. We have almonds for sale. That's not data that Google can work with. Google can
Not
piece
variety enough.
together those combinations on its own. You would want to say, I have almonds for sale. I have a variety of almonds for sale.
Mhm.
I have
Organic,
prepackaged, right? Organic.
grass fed. Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
grass
yeah.
fed,
And
but
like,
you're trying to
the
say.
whole not right, right. Speak in marketing or sales lingo, I guess,
Right, right.
and try to alter them as much as physically possible. Like don't give it the same information over and over again, because what your ads want to do is they want to try multiple different things out. They want to say, okay, that headline didn't do so well, but this one, it's getting those conversions that they were wanting. And so we're going to run that headline with a couple of different combinations to see what success we can get from this, this variation of the headline. So yeah, just, give Google as much data as you possibly can. And then for us, we love running Performance Max campaigns. We see the best success on Performance Max campaigns. Maybe it wasn't the best success as, 4 or 5 years, or I think it was 2 years ago when they first released, because that was like the all-time best when Performance Maxes were just like totally running at peak
Well, I mean,
at
that's like Reels. When Reels first came out, everybody
yeah.
had like a reel that felt like it went viral, and now it's not. Like,
Right, right. Or even, in a sense, TikTok is kind of the same way too. But we still see a lot of success through Performance Max campaigns. And those would include content. And this is why they're so successful, is because they include content such as videos, images, logos, long form headlines. And then it takes all of that content, right? Because that's a lot of content. And then it puts it out across multiple different Google platforms to maximize your effectiveness at reach. That would be,
hence the name.
right, yeah, Performance Max. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was perfect.
And then it also, puts your stuff out onto YouTube. So if you're looking to get into that YouTube advertising game, let me tell you, it does a lot better than billboards or broadcast TV ads do.
Well, I mean, I started thinking about that when you were saying
Yeah.
that, how it uses different headlines. Like, if you
Mhm.
pay to have a billboard, I hope you wrote a good headline because you got one chance. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It
That's
lets you,
wild.
right. Google Ads lets you A/B test, as we would say. And that's just, a test on this headline, a test on this headline, and it lets you test what headline does better. And that's such a wonderful feature to have, because you don't just have to have one set of ad copy that you publish to the entire market. You get multiple different shots and tries at it, and,
Yeah.
even multiple different videos that you can pair with multiple different headlines. And so that is just such a huge asset. And then, one thing that we do that kind of goes a step further is we actually resize those videos and images to make sure that they're displaying across all devices. So
Mhm.
making sure that the video is sized properly so that you can look at it on your cell phone. Or if you're looking at a tablet and you happen to, see our video, we would love for you to convert, even if you're on a tablet. It doesn't matter what, if you're using a computer, a cell phone, or a tablet, or even, for example, an Apple TV. If you got any of those, or smart TVs, we also, I've noticed that ads can go onto those as well. I had a buddy of mine
Oh,
just say the other day, "Hey, I saw one of our ads on my parents' smart TV as they were about to watch the game." And I was like,
oh my
"That's funny.
gosh.
That is
Oh,
really
that's
funny."
awesome. That's so
So,
cool.
so yeah, yeah. What resources all you really need at a core level, headlines and descriptions. But if you want the whole, 9 yards, as I put it, definitely give it videos, images, logos, long
Yeah.
form headlines, and it'll go across all Google platforms at that point.
Sweet. Well, okay, this was awesome. And obviously, I could just ask you a billion questions. We could be on here for hours.
And I
But
could talk, let me
where
tell you, I can talk for
I'll
years.
put it in the description, but tell me like where people can find you in terms of your website and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I don't know how I did this, but somehow I got the domain Grayson L. Robinson. So you can find me there, graysonlrobinson.com. But
perfect.
I think our SEO may be good enough to the point of where you could type in my name and find me. But you can find me,
I
Grayson
think it does.
Robinson. Oh, if
Yeah.
so, we're doing our job right.
Yeah.
But you can find me on LinkedIn as well. We post weekly to LinkedIn. We tried to
I
give
just
it,
Googled your name and
yeah,
you're right under images of course other people. But first
yeah.
one, first link.
Yes. So we're
Your
there.
website and then LinkedIn and then Yelp and Facebook. Guys,
Yeah,
this
we're
guy
making.
knows exactly what he's doing, okay? Like,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Grayson Robinson on any platform, we post to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, wherever we can find a platform or a voice, we want to put ourselves out there. But we also have a blog that you can read on our website. And if you're looking to dive more into the online world of marketing and just, ads and SEO or whatever, even just digital presence and footprint, we talk all about that in our blog. So check out our blog, because we get some great information there. And this would be, I would say, maybe kind of like a continuation maybe happening on there as well. So definitely
yeah,
check that out.
well,
Um,
sweet.
so yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it so much. We all appreciate it. Seriously.
Thank you. Oh, I love getting to talk about this stuff. So, if anyone has any questions or anything, and wanted to allow me the opportunity to get to talk more, don't hesitate to drop a comment or reach out. It's my passion to get to talk about this stuff.
Awesome.
So
Well,
I'm
thank
thrilled to get
you.
to have a
Heck yeah,
conversation.
high five. Let's do it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.